Ohayo Villagers, welcome back to the village. If you are new, hello, welcome. I'm Kai, and today we are going to be talking about DLC 15 and if it's worth buying. But before we get started, I wanted to say a huge thanks to everyone because we hit 2,000 villagers! I can't put into words how much this means to me. I am excited to move forward with the channel and to keep growing. With that though, let's get into things. So, DLC 15 came out about a week ago at this point, and now that I've had some time to mess around with the new characters and play the PQs, I have some thoughts I want to share with you guys. If you guys are new to Xenoverse or just haven't bought the DLC yet, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I wouldn't start with this one. For the price, there are plenty of DLC I feel that'll give you more bang for your buck. Let's look at what this DLC actually gives us for a second though. We get 3 new characters, 7 new skills, 4 new costumes and accessories, 5 new super souls, and 15 new loading screens. I know a lot of people mostly care about the characters, skills, super souls, and costumes. I think the skills for the most part are pretty cool. I think they all look great, and we have one of the most interesting ultimates in Core Breaker. Gamma 2 really carried this DLC for me. All of his moves look really cool, aren't bad to use online or offline, except for maybe Core Breaker. But to start, he has a move called Heroic Counter. Heroic Counter, well, it's a counter. It can counter both Ki Blasts and strike-based skills, similar to Punisher Shield, which is pretty good, and its uptime isn't too short either. Next, there's a Gamma Blaster. I'm also a pretty big fan of. It's a chargeable blast that does decent damage. I like how when you charge up the blast, instead of the blast scattering, you shoot a big blast that actually has a face on it, like in the movie. Another move that he brought was called Gamma Impact. The main drawing for me was how cool the comic book effects were, and of course the explosion at the end was super sick. Lastly though, he brought a new ultimate called Core Breaker. Yes, this move is probably my favorite looking move in the game. However, it's a little tricky to actually land, but if you land, your opponent's health melts. His combos are very unique as well. I was a little worried about the Gammas and them not really going to put too much work into it. Some people were trying to say that the Gammas were going to be one character for a minute, and I'm like, there's no way. If they did that, that'd just be the epitome of laziness, especially because they didn't even fight together. So, like, I guess except against, you know, the end, but whatever. I still very happy with how his combos did turn out. The next character I wanted to talk about was Gamma 1, who I'm a bit less happy about, but still think he's a good addition to the game. For starters, he brings 3 new attacks with him. The first one I wanted to talk about was called Shooting Strike, which is a blast where you shoot your opponent, and if the blast connects, then you follow up with a kick. You don't even have to press another input or anything for the kick to happen. It'll just automatically track to your opponent and kick them. This is probably my favorite new move that he brings. He also brought us a move called Heroic Assault. I kind of hate this move. It's a counter that has a really short window. It also can counter Ki Blasts and strike-based skills. You do like a little backflip and shoot him with a blast if it actually connects, but it's very short. And then the name itself, I know this doesn't matter as much, but it's just so stupid. Why is it called Heroic Assault? How are we gonna name a move Heroic Assault? That's such an oxymoron. How's a hero gonna catch a charge by assaulting someone? Anyway, he also gave us a new ultimate called Super Gamma Blaster, which is alright. It's a beam that you can charge. It has 3 different levels that do more damage the longer you charge it. Overall, I think Gamma 1 is pretty solid DLC character. However, I really think that they were hoping the Gammas would just carry this DLC to cover up Mid-On. Now this is what really brought the DLC down for me. I think they did a great job with Gohan's combos, and his model looks really nice, but why is there not a single new move for our CACs? It makes 0 sense to me why they thought this would be okay. I don't want to say it was a waste of a DLC slot or anything like other people say. I'm just disappointed that we didn't get any cool Gohan moves that I could have used on my CAC. Gohan's one of my favorite characters, like most others. I really wanted something from the movie that my CAC could have as well, and we didn't get that, which sucks. You know, hopefully, you know, we'll talk about the next DLC a little bit later, but that's, I'm hoping, where all the heat is. That's where all that fire is hiding. Again, I just wish they would have kept the momentum from the Gammas and carried over to Gohan, so we could have had some really, really cool Gohan stuff. This DLC also brought a couple of new Super Souls. They brought 5 to be exact. There's really only 2 I feel necessary to talk about, because the other ones are just mid. They're not great. Here we have You Need to Be More Careful, which I made a whole video on, so if you guys want to know more about this one, check it out. But it's just, it is absolutely broken. Like, especially for Namekians. Like, just check that video out. It'll be at the end of this one. And then we also have DBS Gohans, which I was thinking about maybe talking about for a video, but I don't think it's crazy enough to really warrant its whole video. But it's always extends own guard break time, and when succeeding at a just guard or a perfect block, it boosts all attacks M, and it can be stacked up to 3 times. So if you get 3 perfect blocks off, you'll basically be able to have 30% extra with really no downside. So it's pretty solid, but I'm not going to go crazy for it. Outside of that, though, we also have the artworks to discuss, which I'll just put the few that I think are my favorite. These ones look cool. I'm not really going crazy over them again. The only one that's really just like, wow, is the one with Broly, Goku, and Vegeta. I also really like the one with Gamma 2, and the Majin, Vegeta, and Goku one. Those are also really, 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 really good looking artworks. I know people don't care as much about those, but I thought I'd bring that up. Lastly, we also got some new equipment, like I said earlier, some accessories. We have the new Gamma 1 and 2 outfit along with their helmets. That's really it, though, for this DLC. So now that we know everything we actually got with this one, let's kind of stack it up to some others and why I think it's more of a mid DLC. It's mid to good. So guys, I don't want you to leave this video thinking that I hate this DLC or anything. I think it's a solid DLC, and if you want to get it because you love the Gammas or you just want to play as Gohan, I completely understand. I've been there. That's why I bought Vegito Blue and Zamasu when I did. So this DLC is just not where I need it to be. It's not up to par, because we are in like endgame of Xenoverse. I've been talking about this since DLC 12, DLC 11, DLC 10, whatever. We're in the end game, so I expect a bit more now. If they want someone to keep playing for this many years, we need a bit more. I've been playing since 2017. At a certain point, you gotta you gotta up it up a bit. And they did. Legendary Pack 2 is a perfect example of that. It costs $2 more, but for $2 more, you get so much more content. You get a story mode, you get another character, and then they all have new moves to the game, some different mechanics with Gogeta turning Super Saiyan, and that will continue the combo. So I think that the best DLC to probably start this game out with, that also has some good Super Souls, that also has great characters, is Legendary Pack 2. There's Ultra Pack 1, which has some really nice stuff in there too. There's 10 skills, and it's the same price. So that's 3 additional skills, and then you also get God Vegeta, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and Ribrianne. So that's a DLC I definitely prefer over this one. But still, this is a solid option for a DLC. But let's go to the kitchen for a second. Let's cook up a good DLC. How this DLC could have been made better. Welcome to Cooking with Kai. Today, we're going to be cooking up something good, something tasty. We're going to be cooking up a DLC 15, but better. First thing you're going to need is some of this. We need some chili powder. of course, that's necessary in any DLC. Not to mention some paprika, some beans, some black beans to be specific, tomato sauce, red pepper, the works. We also got some cumin, and last but certainly not least, some crushed tomatoes. So what we're gonna do now is put it all in a pot. So if you can excuse me for one moment, just put it all in a pot together. All right. Make sure it fits. Open the oven. Even if it doesn't fit in the oven, make it fit. And then close it up. Oh God. Close it up with it or with it out in there, right? Okay. And after that, we're gonna leave that to cook. And for a moment, let's just really quick go over here and see what you guys thought about this DLC to start. So, we have here a couple of comments. I made a community post a while back, a few days ago, just asking what you guys thought about the DLC. So to start here, we have card limits. I enjoyed it. Gamma 2 Super Soul, you need to be more careful, is the highlight of this DLC. I definitely agree with you there. That is the biggest highlight of this DLC. It's wild how good it is. We have Sriracha here. The characters and the PQ are fun, but afterwards I just feel empty and no point to these awesome characters for a single player enjoyer just like me. Yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from with that. It's a little, I don't know, I feel like there's just not enough content in these DLCs anymore, or just at all. I think we need more, because if you're, a person, you get these characters, you play them for a few hours, and then you don't play Xenoverse until the next DLC. That's just kind of how that feels like it's been going lately. And then we're going to go over one more comment here. Well, I guess we'll do Joseph Lynn here. You are so close to 2K subs. I know, we hit it. So, yeah, let's go check this DLC out real quick. What have I done? Okay, so, this looks great, doesn't it, guys? Make sure you get a good shot of the delicious DLC. So yeah, basically what I think the best DLC, or what this DLC could have used, is another character, or literally just Gohan giving us some moves. That would have fulfilled me just fine. Outside of that, I think it's a solid DLC with not really any problems. The characters are fine. It's just Gohan I really wish gave us a move or two, or we had PU Piccolo instead. I think that it would have been better if we would have got PU Piccolo over Gohan in this DLC, and then just have Gohan in the next. Because I think Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo are going to be just fine and are able to cover Gohan, Ultimate Gohan's ass, even though, it's a little frustrating that we didn't get any new moves with him. I think it would be fine because Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo are just that hype. But yeah, guys, cooking is done. Hope you guys enjoyed that segment of Cooking with Kai. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this DLC. If I have to give it a letter grade, it'll probably get a B. Not horrible, not the greatest. It is okay. But yeah, with that though, guys, I hope you enjoyed again. This was a lot of fun to make, but yeah, this took me a long time, so I'm gonna go to sleep. With that though, I'm Kai. Peace.